we're going to start with the full body in proportion today. I'm going to quickly go through the rubric. I gave you a bunch of sheets that you can use for reference, and the one that's got the 1 through 8 on it, we're going to draw on that today. The blank sheet you are going to draw on tomorrow, and then we're going to be looking to find a subject for you to draw a person of your choice, front and side. You'll do that on the 12 by 18 paper. I would hope you'd find this easier than the heads. We'll see how that goes. So today you're just going to follow along with me. I'll give you a few things that you can do on your own. And tomorrow you will draw on your own. Basically the same thing, but with clothing. And then we'll do our own model that we pick. Okay? So the first one, you can draw the human body in front using the 8-head proportions method, which I'll explain that, and that's of course why that one sheet has 1 through 8 on it with the circles on top. Okay? The second one, you can draw the body side view using 8-head proportion. The third one, you can draw features such as arms, legs, hands, feet in proportion. So you're going to get half of this done basically today, just by following along. And then the fourth part of the rubric, I can draw clothing features. Our target is to get that done tomorrow. And then the fifth, you select a photo of a person, and then you will do a study on them. And you'll do that on the 12 by 18 paper. Okay? So this is all for reference for you. I like this reference sheet that you can look at as we're drawing today. Basically, we're going to draw the like the framework of your person, and then you'll add muscular structure to it and some detail, and you should end up with something that looks a little bit like that. Okay? Everyone's will be different, and we'll just go from there. We're going to start today with the one on the far right. So when I say 8-head method, that's referring to the size of the head, and you could put that exact size going down the page all the way to the feet. As you can see on the sheet, at the first line is the chin, and then a quarter to a halfway down starts the shoulders, and the third line is the belly button, or where your elbow would land. The fourth is the crotch, wrist area, hips, 5 fingertips when they're stretched out, mid-thigh. 6 is the bottom of the kneecaps. 7 is where the the bottom of the calf muscle, and 8 is the ground where your feet are going to land. So we'll start with this one, center view. Basically, again, we're just drawing just the framework. So we'll go down about a quarter to a half, and I'm going to make an oval just about down to the third line. That's going to represent basically the skeletal part of the upper body. So I want you to take your pencil now and do this along with me, so we can knock this this part of the piece out. On the top, you can see that there is a 1 and a 2. That's to represent 2 heads wide. So your average body width is going to end up being 2 of your heads wide. At this point, we're a little narrow, but we'll put some shoulders on there, and that will make that wider. Okay? The next major component is the pelvis area, hips. So we'll put a circle in there as well. Okay? now we'll start putting the areas that we're going to connect some stuff. So our shoulders will go in, and we'll have a circle for the shoulder sockets. And we will also add them down on the hips. This is where you decide if you want to do a male or a female. So if you're doing a female, your shoulders are going to be a little narrower, and the hips will be a little wider. If you're doing a guy, the shoulders are going to be a little wider, and the hips will be a little narrower. Okay? And you can make those adjustments based on the person you're actually going to be drawing. But if you're just drawing a figure, that's a good rule to go by. Then we'll go down to the 6th line and draw in a knee. And all we're going to do is basically throw a line in here between our hip and our knee. And down on the bottom, we will put our feet in. And we'll connect those as well. As you see, there's not a whole lot of detail that's going into this. We're just looking to get it in a perspective look. Okay? Limbs are long enough. Our body's wide enough. So we'll add in our arms. And our elbow is going to be right about at our navel area. Okay, our wrist is going to be right around our crotch area. And then our hands, and this is where you could have a little bit of difference. Okay, if our hands are really stretched out and our arms are straight, they can be close to that knee spot. But if you have any bend at all, they're going to be a little shorter. And then you can just make that decision as you draw. Okay? As you can see in our midsection, we really don't have anything connecting that. It's not really super important. If you want to put a line there, you can. You don't have to. Same with the neck. The only reason that there's a line in the middle is because this body right now is perfectly symmetrical and it is looking straight forward. Okay, in a minute we're going to draw another front view. I'll show you how you can turn that center line a little bit so you can make it look like your body's turned. From here, you can add in a neck and an outside form. Notice the leg muscles are coming from the center of the crotch. And after you have your toes pointed forward, that lower leg is just going to come down gradually. So at this point, you should have basically a silhouette of the human body in proportion. A great reference is on the back of the rubric if you want to start putting in some lines and some shadowing to add some detail. Give the chest some dimension. Stomach's going to come around a little bit. But ultimately, we just want you to get the form at this point. Okay? If you were going to put any of the details on the face, okay, on the form part of this, it doesn't really need to be done. If you want to practice, that's great. Okay, just remember, all the proportions we learned last week when we did the portrait are going to be the same. So let's go on to the next one. And if you're not with us at this point, just let's jump to the next one, follow along. We're going to have time at the end of class because the other two classes today were shorter, that you can work on this a little more. So again, we're going to be looking at about two times our head for our width, but this time I want my head and my body to be tipped a little bit. So we're still going to do a frontal view, but we're going to change this up just a little bit so you can get your body to look like it's turned. So we got our upper part of our torso, and our lower. So I put those lines on so you can see where the center point is. So they're tipped a little bit, and I made it a little bit narrower. But if we go at this point and we want to add our hip position on the left side, where's the hip going to go? It's going to look like it's in front or behind. Yeah, it's going to be in front on this side.
Yes.
No, it's going to be behind because we've got that shoulder turned back, so you're seeing the center this way. Now the hip on this side, yes, it's going to be in front. And we can say the same thing for the shoulder. Side, it's going to be in front. Add in our knees and our feet. I'm gonna turn the feet this time just because the body's turned. Right? Same deal. And those lines down. Arm is gonna go to the navel area. Wrist to about the crotch, and then the hand. Now as you can see, this one, just from the way that we have the center line on it, that it looks like that chest is opened up a little bit to its right or to the left side of the paper. And we can do the same thing again. We will go through and put some muscular structure on this. Okay, last one, and then I'm going to let you guys work on your own. We'll do the side view. Again, if you want to refer to the back of your rubric, there's a nice start of a side view there. The only thing that's wrong with our start here is you should tip that head just a little bit. All right, our center line's still going to be going down the middle. But our neck's going to leave the back of our head, and we can go from there. So the chest oval, and our pelvis area, hip bone, shoulder, elbow, wrist, and hand. And that's side view. So you've got the rest of the hour to finish up what we started today and worked on. Add some detail. You can erase some of your foundation or some of your construction lines. And then tomorrow we will draw these three simple forms again with our construction lines, and then we're going to add clothing to them. Okay? We've got about another 25 minutes to work, and hopefully we can all get to that stage. All right?